What is up, everybody? We'll just get right into this video because that's what you guys came here for. I told you guys I was trying to get on a more regular schedule, so here it is. The other day I was giving some thought when I was trying to decide what I want to film next, and I found just off a couple searches on YouTube, I wanted to see like what questions, if anybody had any, like what kind of information is out there. What I found was a whole lot of nothing. Basically, I did a lot of searches, and there's not just a whole lot of people who talk about it. I think this is primarily because people are afraid to talk about it. There's not a whole lot of people who are willing to speak about it, or maybe I'm wrong, maybe there's a bunch of people and I just don't know about it, but I was having a really hard time. I was like on multiple different websites, couldn't find jack. I did a little research and I found a bunch of questions that people were asking, and there's no one who answers them. I volunteer. I will answer those questions because no one can talk about it, or no one is putting that information out there, and there's so many people who have the condition or know someone who does. Some of these things that I'm about to say you might already know, and some of them you might have forgotten or just don't know, so we're just going to talk about it. Vitiligo only affects 1% of the population, so out of the 75 billion people, or however many, only 1% of them have vitiligo. I like to think that there's three groups of people who have vitiligo, people who know someone who has vitiligo, and then there's the third group where that group has no clue what it is and they've never seen it or like had anything to do with it. The reason I wanted to make a video like this is because at one point myself, I couldn't find any information on it online and nobody could tell me anything about what was going on, and I was just sitting there like, what is going on? No one had any answers for me. Even the doctors were like, Number one, what the heck is it? A lot of people don't know how to pronounce it. It is pronounced vitiligo. Vitiligo is an autoimmune disorder in which your skin removes its own color. In other words, your body is just removing that color for whatever reason. We'll get into the reasons why later. The second question is, why is this happening? If you see me looking down, it's because I have a thorough list, but I do know that vitiligo is like linked to a few things. So genetics, environment, diet, sometimes hormones, and like trauma or stress. In a lot of cases, you are born with genetics in a certain way that kind of make you like more inclined or more likely to get it if you are triggered. Is there a cure? I typed this into Google probably a million times myself by now. No, there is not. Like, probably a super common question because people don't know what it is, they don't know why it's happening, and people are hoping that there's going to be someone that has an answer. Unfortunately, vitiligo is considered some sort of medical mystery. Doctors don't know anything about it. Like, a lot of conditions have like treatments and cures. This one really doesn't. There's some things that are like that may help, but it's really, nothing is guaranteed. You'll see a lot of things online saying, oh, this works and that works, but honestly, things are pretty hit and miss. Some people work really well with the treatments that they found, or like UV lights. There's a lot of things out there, but you really have to just do your own research and see if anything is worth really trying, like your time and money, because it's pretty likely that it might not have any effect. Number four, where can it spread to? There's a couple different types of vitiligo. I don't know why I can't remember them right this second, but basically there's a type where it's symmetrical on both sides of your body, like mine, where if it happens on one side of your body, it'll happen on the other side. So for example, I have it here, I also have it here, and that goes for everywhere else. And for like things where I only have one, like it just takes up the whole thing. Except you can't see it because I covered it up, but I do have these big brown spots coming on my face. You guys already know that my skin is repigmenting itself. If you want to learn more about what I have to say about that and what I think is going on, I'll put a card up here and you can check it out. Something that doesn't really affect me because I don't have any children, but can it pass to children? Yes. I've seen all of online, like I'm on a couple forums like Facebook, you know, I'm on vitiligo like groups just to see what's up and what's trending and what's going on, and like see other people that have it. The majority of people say that it hasn't spread to their children. There's this one girl, and I think the picture is so adorable. I'll put it up here. The baby has the exact same hair streak that she has, and I think it's absolutely adorable. It looks like it passed to her child, like a newborn got it. So I mean, it must have been genetic in her case. Yes, it can pass to children, but I don't really know if it will happen to yours, or if it would even if yours is genetic, if it would cause theirs to be triggered by whatever it is that it was. This is really common. When people see something different, they kind of get scared of it and they're not sure. Like when I was in school, people weren't sure what to think of me. They're like, what is that? And I'm like, the people were like, what is that? And I was like, honestly, I couldn't tell you. But this question was probably running through their mind. Is it contagious? No, you cannot get it based on contact or touch or anything like that. Nobody in my family has it. Obviously, we like share drinks and we hug, and nobody has it except me, so I'm the oddball. This one brings up memories for me. Is it textured or raised, or does it like have any sort of different feeling than regular skin? The answer is no. This one time when I was in middle school, this one girl, we were sitting in gym class and she was sitting beside me, and she just felt the need to like rub my skin and touch it. I'm not gonna say I didn't like her, but just wasn't friends with her. I thought it was really awkward. I don't think I said a thing. I was just like, but no, it's not raised. It feels like any other skin. There's no, like if I had my eyes closed, there's no difference anywhere. Like you cannot feel it at all. It doesn't have any sensation. Some people say it's more sensitive, but mine is exactly the same. But I mean, it's a little more sensitive to the sun, but that's about it, because it doesn't have any way to protect itself from the rays and like protect against sunburn. But it feels exactly the same. It's not affected in any way other than sunburn. Can it spread to hair? Yes. There's a lot of people who have vitiligo that it spreads to the hair. You know, they have a big streak. Some people's eyebrows and eyelashes turn colors. I haven't had very much of that. I do get gray hairs, like there might be some in there, but I have gotten more gray hairs than the average teen. I shouldn't be getting them when I'm 20. It was a little strange, but then I realized it was my vitiligo. And then also like spots that have like hair and like peach fuzz, sometimes that turns white, but it's really thin because it just is like. But yes, it does turn white. It really just depends on the person. But should I cover it up? You should protect it from the sun, because you will burn more easily. You don't have any skin color there, so it's kind of just like very vulnerable. So I would use a higher SPF on your vitiligo, you know, kind of make sure to reapply it, and maybe even wear a hat if you have it on your face like me. You don't need to like cover it up per se at all. I used to do this a really long time ago, and oh my gosh, it just bugs me so much that I ever did that. I wouldn't have wasted nearly as much time, because I would have been comfortable with myself and I would be able to you know, just show who I am instead of hiding all the time. Hiding is so exhausting, let me tell you. When I think about it, I think I hid for about 8 years. I got my first spot when I was 5, but it didn't really do a whole lot till I was like 11. So when I turned like 10, 11, that's when it started going really bad. And that's when I moved schools too. So I was the new girl, and at first like everybody really liked me. And then as soon as it started like affecting me, people like literally ghosted me. I hid for about 8 years, but don't be like me. And the last question that I'm going to talk about today, this one's a little bit more lengthy, but how do I become more confident? People ask me all over DMs. I get hundreds of DMs. I respond to every single one of them, and I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm really popular or anything, but people just, they want the help. I guess I'm one of the people that they can reach out to about it. I will give you guys a little bit of a background story, a little bit about what it was like for me, because you don't want to be like me. Honestly, it was awful. So learn from my mistakes so you don't have to go through it. People will say this up and down, and it sounds so stupid and it sounds so cheesy, but stop caring about what other people think. It's definitely easier said than done, but you will be so glad that you did it. So it's either that or you handle it like I did, and here's what I did. I had really long hair, long sleeves, long pants, closed-toed shoes all the time. And also, in addition to wearing long sleeves, I would always cover up my hands. So it's like, obviously it would have been easy to wear gloves, but you can't wear gloves in school like in summer. I don't think that's allowed. Anyways, but like picture me with like a really long sleeve. I would make sure to pick specific shirts. That way they're like kind of like stretchy and they have a give. That way I can pull them up. Like that's a lot of thought just going into putting on a shirt for the day. And like when I would go to grab things, I would have to make sure that it was like pulled up and then I could grab it and hold this stupid shirt up at the same time. I was always looking around to see if people were looking at me or if they noticed or like if they're talking about me. It was a mess. So picture this. Like this. Literally like this. God, that's exhausting. Literally, like, trying to grab anything. Here, let's try to grab a few things. So I think I would hold it like this. Yes. So let's, like, I would try to type like this and like, you know, try to cover it up, and then I would go back and grab it and it's not even staying put. Did anyone else take it that far? Like, did anyone else do this? I don't know, but maybe that was just me, but like it was a train wreck. And I would do this year round, in 100-degree heat. Like, I don't care how hot it is. I'd rather have a stroke than let you see what I look like. My whole life I was hiding and I didn't get to become who I was until so much later. Anyways, I missed out on so much for my entire life. I didn't even get to do any of the things I loved growing up, and now I'm taking the time to do those things because I missed out on so much. So if you have vitiligo or you know someone that has vitiligo, don't let them or don't let yourself go down the same road that I took, because it was straight up terrible. You need to accept yourself the way that you are, multiple colors and all. It's not the worst thing in the world. It does take a toll on you and a lot of things and a lot of portion of your life, but at the end of the day, it's just a skin color. It really just shows you how superficial people are. Like, if they can't even handle someone being a little different, there's no hope for them. That's the biggest gift that I could have given myself. I just don't care anymore. I've kept putting myself in uncomfortable situations on purpose, like wearing certain shoes, wearing certain clothes that made me uncomfortable to leave the house because I know people could see my spots. Make yourself do it because you'll thank yourself later. And that's how it turned into all of this. This is how it turned into this YouTube channel, and that's how it turned into me posting on Instagram and meeting all of you. And I'm so happy that I did that. Yeah, I've definitely rambled on long enough. I really hope this answers your questions about vitiligo, whether you have it, you don't, or you know someone who does. So don't forget to subscribe and comment below whether you have it or you know somebody or you're just curious. Anyways, thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.